This is the G-Force 357 38 special from Huge Tech, Hug Tech, U-Tech, whatever it is. We have 38 specials in this, and pretty dang quiet. It's easy to short stroke.
Yeah.
Especially when you got a round resting on your eyebrow, huh?
Yep.
There it is. Okay, we're having
Wow,
an issue.
this is the worst ever.
It did it again. All right, G-Force arms. Last test to see if we can get it to eject the spent casing as well as the good casing. That was all in the tube, and it ejected the good casing straight out. So we're going to manually load this one. All right. I felt the second round getting to that position. Boom.
That was
Single
one.
round.
That was two.
It's almost like when you go it with any kind of extra, umph when you're doing the lever. So we'll go like real slow and smooth. Manually loaded. Boop. Boop. So you just can't run it like an actual cowboy. Gotta run it like a baby cowboy. Guys, real quick, we were having some issues with the G-Force. It is...
G-Force!
We could get one round loaded, but when you go to reload, it is actually ejecting the spent casing and a new casing, and then we're getting empty clicks. So, first round, good. Okay. Runs it. That is bad round. Okay. All right. It actually worked this time.
Let's try it on the last one.
There it goes.
Yeah.
So spent and good keeps like coming out at the same time. I don't know what's going on why it's doing that.
It was the last round, so maybe
But
it's just something.
it's not the ammo either. It's been happening with multiple kinds of ammo. It just started doing this. We're probably getting close to the 500 round mark, so it's probably, been doing it the last 100 rounds or so. But that's not good, and I would say we're going to try it a couple more times if that keeps happening. This one is done. What's going on, everybody? Today we are talking about a gun with many names, the G-Force Arms, L-Tac, Saddlehorn, Huckleberry, or Tactical Lever Action, if you want to call it. This one has maybe changed in a few of its names. I don't know what's going on with it exactly. When I came to sit down and do this review to make sure I had all my information right, there was some changes, so I don't know if that's happened recently in the middle of us shooting this thing or what's going on. Maybe somebody in the comments will know a little bit better than me. But before we dive into whatever this gun is called, guys, I got to take a quick moment and thank our sponsor of this channel and this video, Smoky Mountain Guns and Ammo. But let's dive into this, guys. This is the 357 and 38 special version. And this thing is absolutely something that caught my eye immediately when that newsletter went out. I was like, can I get this to review? They were like, I think we have one. I was like, please let me review this thing. It is an amazing budget price lever action for me. This was sitting at about $6.99 if I remember correctly, and came exactly the way that I would want my lever action to look. Tacked out, front rail, pick rail on top so you can mount an optic, laser, all that good stuff, but kind of keeping that classic look where you can. You have the nice key mod rail, which is absolutely full of slots. The only downside is you basically can't use these three front ones with the way that the barrel is placed inside of that handguard. There is no space to get anything in there, so these three do not work. But you got two layers, technically three underneath that you can use. It already comes with a couple of swivel sling mounts on it, and then you have a nice fiber optic front sight with the blacked out rear sight kind of built in that's also adjustable into this pick rail here. Threaded barrel so that you guys can mount whatever suppressor that you want. I was using all of my 9mm cans, which was very easy to just pop on there, go to work, because I already had the direct thread attachments and the pistons that I needed, so didn't have to change anything specifically to shoot this thing suppressed, because if you guys don't know, 38 Special is pretty much subsonic, and it sounds super good out of a long barrel like this and just looks really, really badass. And we pretty much shot it suppressed the entire time when we could, out of both guns. So I personally, you guys know, like to suppress anything that we can. And if it has that option, then it needs to be ran that way, and that is also a great way to kind of speed up the torture test and put a harder torture in a lower round count, if that makes sense. You also have a pick rail at the bottom here, so if you wanted to mount a light of your choice or something else up front, you can. The lasers that we had, it was very awkward to mount at the bottom, so we had the pick rail that we mounted on the side and put the laser on, and then I had a mod button that was able to operate that laser mounted over here on the side. So great option, guys. Everything is set up the way that it needs to be. The little leather strap here kind of like worried me just a little bit. I thought, yeah, that's going to break within the first range day, but it's still holding up after several hundred rounds. So, you know, I think they've done a pretty decent job of making this ready to be ran pretty dang hard on the range overall. And it already came set up with this 4-spot quick reload right here mounted on the handguard. I thought that was pretty cool, and it's the perfect placement, especially being right there in the top loading position that it is. It is tube fed and side loading, so we unfortunately had to keep it to side loading only because of the suppressor being mounted. We could not get our tube on and off without having to take the suppressor off every time. So it did take us a lot longer to load everything because we were constantly doing side charging or side loading, but that probably contributed to a lot of the scratches that you see on the side of the receiver here as well. But overall, guys, we had some issues with this. This is actually the second one that we've been shooting, and the first one had a few things that were very concerning happening with it. Number one, the barrel and the pick rail itself. I don't know if it happened the first time in the case, but basically it had rotated, let's say, about 1/8 of a turn. And it wasn't just the pick rail rotating on the gun itself, it was the entire barrel and pick rail rotating. I was able to rotate it back, and with a little bit of force, you could get it to go back and forth. So it was something that was absolutely something of concern. And when we brought it up to G-Force at the time, that was the only issue that we were thinking that we were going to have. Right before that meeting, we ended up, and before we got this second one, we ended up having another issue to where this was not only ejecting the casings properly, but it was ejecting that next live round as well. So as you can see in this video, I would go to rack it, the spit casing would come out like normal, but whenever it would go to launch that next round into the feed ramp position, it would just catapult right out of that thing. Sorry for spitting all over the camera here, but that was something that was like, holy cow. So you would get a lot of dead triggers, or a lot of, not dead triggers, but click and empty chambers. So brought that up. They immediately sent us out a new one, and this one hasn't been having the same issues that the first one had. So I love it when a company's willing to fix it. I really would like to know what was wrong with that first one, but we don't have any more contact other than getting this second one sent to us when we had an issue. But I wonder what was going on with that first one. I mean, that was two pretty big issues, and I'm glad that they weren't happening here, but it is something that we absolutely have to note in this video. This one, guys, has been doing pretty well. It only has one issue, and that is something that I think can be fixed pretty easily. The screws on the handguard come loose with just a minor amount of use on the range. You guys have to be kind of cautious, and what I would do is just check them every time before you go out. You'll start seeing the barrel like wobble and touch the rail and kind of like rattle back and forth inside here. So that'll be your sign that your handguard is getting loose. There is multiple screws on each side that you can do with 2 flathead screwdrivers, and just kind of make sure that that thing is nice and locked in so that you don't have any rattle whatsoever. If it becomes a big issue, make sure you take them out, put some blue Loctite on them, and then just put them in place if you don't plan on changing anything. And then you should be good to go. Other than that, the couple of screws on the top of the pick rail came loose as well. So, you know, minor things on this one. This one has been running everything that we could throw at it. Didn't have the issue with the ejection port, didn't have the rotating barrel issue. Everything seems to be fine with this one in particular. So it definitely remotivated me to get one of these things, because it is something that I was seriously eyeballing. My son even shot this on a tripod, as you guys can see. So we had a lot of fun with this in the family. Everybody can shoot this, especially with 38 specials being as quiet as they are with with a suppressor, and how easy they are to manage. And it's just a great option for a range toy, or even just a decent safe queen if you guys want one. I think it looks amazing for the price. Like we said, we're sitting at about $699. So for a already tacticaled out lever action, I think that's pretty dang cool. I want to say there was some hinting of some aftermarket parts coming out for these things. I'm not 100% sure. I can't confirm that nor deny. But it is something that maybe if you guys get one of these, to be on the lookout for if you are thinking about getting one and then changing some stuff out. But I was able to put a nice little pick rail attachment up here for my laser, had my optic mounted, had my switch with the key mod, guys. I was ready to go. The trigger feels great on this thing. Very easy manipulations. That top loader didn't bother me at all. Safety was very easy to turn on and turn off. Don't forget about that though, because if you have the safety on and you have the hammer back and go to pull the trigger, the hammer will drop and it'll just go click. So it's going to make you think that that's something wrong with the gun. There was a few times that it got us on that, but we were like, oh yeah, safety's on. Duh. But as far as it holding up, the coat seems pretty good on the rail itself. Over here on this aluminum receiver, guys, it does seem like it scratches up pretty easy. So if I decide to keep this thing, which I'm kind of thinking it might be a birthday or Christmas present for my son, I'm probably going to go ahead and get it decked out in maybe something fancy. He really is into Spider-Man, so I could see Jay maybe doing something really crazy Spider-Man style with this one for him. So I love it. I don't think I can get rid of it. I'm not really sure if this was the first model and now the new ones that are called Saddlehorn are any different. Looking at the website, they look exactly the same, guys. These are 16-inch barrels, 8+1 capacity, so 8 in the tube, 1 in the chamber. Turkish walnut stock, but you also had a couple of different options to choose from as far as the looks go. You have this standard, we'll call it the standard black with the wood stock. You also have all black with, I believe, is probably like a synthetic polymer stock. And then you had kind of this chromed out version as well. So all three look very nice. They can absolutely be dressed up to your liking, and I think you guys are going to have a great time with these, as long as they don't show any more of those issues from the beginning. But maybe that was one of the reasons they changed the name. The original models, the Lever 357, whatever this one in particular was called, maybe it was having some issues, and now they've worked those things out. So it'd be awesome if G-Force would comment in the comments here. The only thing we've been able to talk to is a local rep for for Smoky Mountain. So they are not directly associated with G-Force Arms. You know, G-Force Arms is an import company, basically, with Turkish import or Turkish firearms. So there's probably some miscommunication going on. I've tried contacting them on their Instagram page. I've tried tagging them and just trying to get some sort of response with no luck. But maybe they can explain this a little bit better. But for me, guys, absolutely, at least get your hands on it if you can. Go shoot it, see if you like it. At this point, between the first one having, I gotta say that first one had easily 250 rounds through it, and this one has had easily that as well, if not more. We may be sitting closer to about the 350 round mark on this one in particular, but it's been working outstandingly well, guys. Yes, 2 thumbs up from me. Huge Tech, Lever Tech, Saddlehorn, Huckleberry, Lever 357, whatever this thing is called, we'll just go with it, guys. It is the tactical cowboy for me, and I'm absolutely going to be keeping this thing in our family. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys have anything from G-Force Arms? I know they make a lot of, or they import a lot of things other than just these rifles. Have you guys thought about getting something? Have you guys even seen this? Is this something brand new that you've never even heard of? We love getting your guys' feedback in the comments, and we try to be as responsive as possible. But other than that, guys, I am sold on the lever action lifestyle. Call me a modern cowboy. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, y'all. And as always, stay alert, stay alive. And did you guys know we're doing training here in East Tennessee? Rifle fundamentals, pistol fundamentals, and night vision introduction. We can get you guys on the range, budget friendly. Come build your circle, come train with us. We would love to have you guys, and the range is absolutely calling. We'll see you out there. G-Force, baby. Ejecting good rounds.
Do you want me to keep filming this?
Good round in. Okay.
Gotta take the good with the bad, you know? That's what they say.
G-Force has got that right.
Oh.
Alright, I'm just gonna run it slow and smooth.
Okay, if you think so.
That was a good one.
Oh no, we broke it.
Yeah, we were running. Oh, safety.
Oh, you dodo.